KREM 2 News begins now.
It's been a busy week for news across the inland Northwest. Let's get you caught up with the KREM 2 News Week in Review. I'm Tim Pham. Thanks for joining us here on KREM 2 Plus. Here now is a look at some of the biggest stories from this past week.
Well, it has snowed from the moment we arrived in Pullman, and right now we're looking at that snow continuing to fall well after we head back to the station. Now, while this is not the first snowfall of the season here, this is looking like it could be some of the most significant so far, and that's not stopping students at WSU. The land of the Cougs turned into a winter wonderland Tuesday. No matter where you go in Pullman, you'll find snow from downtown to campus. You might also find a few snowball fights.
I'm really happy that it's snowing. I feel like it has not snowed enough. Back in my hometown, it's been snowing a lot, and they had 2 days canceled so far, school, so I was a little jealous.
Everyone's got a smile on their face today. Like, everyone's just doing better, you know? That's what I think that's what the snow brings, at least for most people.
While the snow is certainly pretty, it hasn't been all fun. Freshman Matthew Schlichting found that out while riding with a friend.
He has a truck, and we almost couldn't get up a hill. He was like, gotta put it in four-wheel drive. And so I know, like, transportation-wise in the snow is pretty scary.
The winter weather also helped Carson Munch realized he needs some new clothes.
If my mom sees this, she's gonna say I told you so, but I definitely need some boots. The boots might be necessary if we get up to 4 to 6 inches.
But clothing aside, these students say enjoy the snow while it lasts.
Go and play in it before it melts.
Yeah, soak it up, soak it all up.
Of course, while it has been fun on campus, the snow has also meant slick roads and slick sidewalks. For example, US 195 driving down to the Palouse proved to be dicey at times because of blowing snow and more snow on the roadways, making it difficult for drivers. Drivers certainly taking it slow out on the roads. WashDOT says they even called in extra crews, and they're prepared for a long night. In Pullman, Cody Proctor, KREM 2 News.
I'm standing here at Greenwood Boulevard, where a fire truck slid down a hill, hitting this home behind me, narrowly missing that car with children inside of it. The Spokane Fire Department says a truck was responding to a call in northwest Spokane Thursday morning. That's when firefighters say the truck lost traction, sliding into this home. It was inches away from a car with the homeowner's 3 great-grandchildren inside.
The next thing you see is just the fire truck barreling down towards the edge of the house, and all I thought was just that the kids were in the car.
The homeowner's granddaughter, Katie Johnson, was stopping in Spokane with her husband, Jordan, and her 3 kids while on a road trip. They got their kids out of the car uninjured. After the truck narrowly missed them, that's when firefighters say in a matter of minutes, a second fire truck dispatched to the same call slid down the same hill. The fire truck hit the car after their children were safe inside. This all happening during what the Johnsons say was supposed to be a quick family visit.
We were going to come through for just an hour, say hello, and then we had planned out our stops along the way. We were going to go from here all the way to Sheridan, Wyoming for the night, and so that's obviously not going to happen.
A city inspector came to the home to check out the damage. Katie and Jordan are glad everyone involved, including the firefighters, walked away unharmed.
It was an accident, like,
for sure.
It's no one's fault,
Yeah.
and that we're just super grateful that God protected our kids and our family,
Yeah.
and we really feel like that's just like an edge of protection from him.
The homeowner tells KREM 2 she's concerned about the foundation of her home after the accident. Katie and Jordan plan on flying home instead of driving with their kids in the next few days. Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
Welcome back to the KREM 2 News Week in Review. I'm Tim Pham. Let's get back now to some of the biggest news stories from the inland Northwest this past week.
What started as a normal day of service ended with a man in handcuffs after he rushed the altar and allegedly attacked one of the priests.
It took me a while to realize that this was pretty serious.
A typical night of prayer for the close to 400 parishioners here at the Cathedral of Our Lady of Lourdes quickly turns into one they'll never forget. Security camera footage from the church shows a man in the front row at the tail end of Tuesday's service standing up and charging the altar and going after one of the priests.
So I was leading prayers at that kneeler right there.
Father Darren Connell, who was right next to where the incident happened, says in his 14 years at this church, he has never seen a situation unfold like this before.
I didn't realize how serious it was in the sense that we're in a downtown parish. We see disruptions and odd things all the time.
Father Connell says Father Gaines, the man who was charged at, came out of the incident with no physical injuries. However, he said everyone was shaken up mentally. Since February 2nd, the church has been taking part in 9 days of prayer for those that need any sort of healing. The church does this leading up to February 11th, otherwise known as the Lady of Lourdes Feast Day, which is a world day of prayer for the sick. Father Connell says while there has been an outpouring of support and well wishes for the priests involved, there has also been a lot of concern and prayer for the man who was arrested.
Whatever his motivation was, it wasn't well, huh? And so it's kind of providential or ironic that we're in these days of praying for healing, and in the midst of all this happens from a man who by all accounts needs some kind of healing in his life.
Father Connell says that security has been and will continue to be a main priority during these services. Now, the man that was arrested on Tuesday is expected to be in court for his first appearance on Thursday. In Spokane, Christian Garza, KREM 2 News. On February 1st, law enforcement deputies were called to the Silverstone Inn and Suites for an unresponsive child. According to the affidavit of facts, when deputies got there to the scene, a woman was holding her 2-year-old child. The affidavit says the mom told deputies she found the child holding a spoon she uses for fentanyl. That's when she administered 2 cans of Narcan to the child. While this is a recent incident surrounding overdoses in the county, these fatal drugs have plagued the area for over half a decade.
The fentanyl isn't the only problem here.
At the most recent county commissioner meeting, Spokane County Medical Examiner Dr. Veena Singh updated the board on the rise of overdose deaths in the area over the last 6 years and how fentanyl plays a part in these deaths.
In 2023, 5% of all deaths in Spokane County were due to overdoses. We're still finalizing the numbers for 2024, but the trend does continue upward, as you see.
Dr. Singh says in 2023, there were 301 overdose deaths in the county. In 2024, that number grew to 341 deaths. The medical examiner says in 2025, we are on track to meet or exceed that number with 30 overdoses in the first 31 days of this year.
Using the latest numbers we have for 2024, fentanyl was detected in about 78% of accidental overdoses in 2024.
Dr. Singh says the main age group affected by these overdoses are people between 25 and 65 years old, which is the age group the mom in the hotel room falls into. That's why local nonprofits like Vanessa Behan Crisis Nursery wants the community to know there are resources for parents and children alike.
Our goal is to walk alongside parents in this difficult journey of parenting and support them through that process.
Amy Vega, the executive director of Vanessa Behan, says the organization aims to support families regardless of what they are struggling with, which can also include substance abuse.
Because nobody willingly goes into substance misuse saying, I want to be an addict, right? People stumble and fall into it. And so how do we support the parent? Well, we're also supporting the child because our ultimate goal is to keep those parents and that child together.
She says Vanessa Behan can connect you to necessary resources to make healthy decisions for your family.
In an historic vote Tuesday night, Spokane Valley's City Council unanimously moved to take legal action against one of their own. Councilman Al Merkel, of course, was conflicted out of that vote.
Will you recuse yourself?
No.
The city's now preparing to sue Merkel over his posts on social media. City manager John Homan says he's conducting city business on personal pages.
Yeah, he routinely conducts polls of different city business items, such as how are the council members doing, what do people think about particular projects.
An independent investigation last year found Merkel's violating the city's policies and Washington's Public Record Act. Homan and council say the lawsuit is to compel Merkel to comply.
The legal action is probably the last tool in the city council's toolbox.
It's about silencing me and shutting me up, and they're willing to just continually spend taxpayer money on attacking me.
Merkel says he's connected his Nextdoor account to an online archive as directed, and he claims he also downloaded all of his posts and turned them over.
So then I said, here's my password, and you can just log in and take whatever you need. They did that. They said that wasn't enough.
The city says it's received more than 60 public records requests associated with Merkel and is at risk because he hasn't turned over all the necessary documents.
It's a risk management issue. His actions has placed the city in dire legal and financial risk.
Holman says the city could be on the hook for hundreds of thousands of dollars in public records penalties, like $100 per day for every page not turned over. Holman hasn't filed anything just yet, but the city has an outside attorney helping decide what legal action to take. Merkel also has an attorney and says he's prepared to countersue. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
Well, I am told Maddie's Place in the Perry District of Spokane that $4.5 million is to serve for the next 2 years of funding to continue the care of infants that have been exposed to substances and their mothers.
But it's not just mothers experiencing a life change at Maddie's Place, it's fathers too.
2 years clean, house, cars. Honestly, the happiest time of my life.
Born and raised in the inland Northwest, David Aga started using drugs as a teenager.
I was homeless at a pretty young age, just bounced around, just making every poor decision you possibly can in life. Started getting incarcerated.
He found hope after the birth of his daughter in Maddie's Place, a recovery nursery in Spokane for babies going through withdrawals. As his daughter went through treatment, Maddie's Place gave Aga a second chance at life. Now, 17 months clean with a healthy child, he currently works at the nonprofit helping other families just like his.
I love it. It's not even like coming to work every day. It's literally so rewarding.
Maddie's Place is the only facility like it in the area, helping both infants and families with treatment and with bonding.
The priority is to treat the baby and get the baby through its withdrawal. Number two, what we're trying to do is to use that birth as sort of a trampoline to also jump off and assist the life of the biological parents and the caregivers around that child.
Recently, they finished a state-funded pilot project studying how often babies are exposed to substances before they're born, how often they deal with withdrawals, and the long-term impacts. Cross says the pilot project found the average infants exposed to 4 different substances.
Basically, our birth rate for these babies is about 340% the national average.
Now they need to convince the Washington state legislature to give them more money for the next couple of years. Without it, Maddie's Place could face the possibility of closing their doors.
We should keep this going. This is having a very significant impact on the lives of a lot of people in Spokane County.
Potentially leaving families like Aga's with nowhere to turn.
The amount of love they pour into these little ones is just amazing. They're just amazing people, and every need that baby has is met, guaranteed.
And I am told the current funding runs out on June 30th, so the staff is hopeful the state supports to continue their mission of serving both vulnerable families and infants. In Spokane, Regan Gallo, KREM 2 News.
National Girls and Women in Sports Day is designed to celebrate the achievements of female athletes and acknowledge the impact of sports participation for women and girls. A local organization launched a campaign today with those goals in mind.
We've just got a lot going on, and I saw that as an opportunity to really embrace it and show these athletes and fans who will be traveling to Spokane that Spokane really champions women in sports.
Spokane Sports' mission is to strengthen the community through sports. They do this by bidding for Spokane to host events and investing in events of their own. As interest in specifically women's basketball increases across the nation, Spokane sees the opportunity to capitalize on the growth.
People are just getting more and more excited. I think the movement last year with Caitlin Clark, she just definitely helped to pave the way. And then the campaigns, everyone watches women's sports. There's just more and more we're seeing of it. And so we can't be more excited.
According to Spokane Youth Sports Association, 7,000 girls participate in its sports programs annually, and participation numbers are trending upward. Sports increase confidence, develop life skills, and improve physical health. It's a cause that means a lot to a women-led sports organization.
Especially as an organization of 11 people and 75% of us are female, it's honestly really exciting and easy for us to wrap our arms around.
There's a long list of women's sporting events coming to Spokane in the next few months, including the NCAA Sweet 16 and Elite 8 and the USA Wrestling Tournament. Spokane Sports is providing a toolkit for businesses to welcome thousands of athletes and families to Spokane.
Having it just be something that's given to them and they can just grab a hold of it and capitalize on that and be able to use that part of whatever it is that they're doing in part of welcoming guests to the area.
Spokane sports resources and event information can be found on our website. In the newsroom, Caitlin Galloway, KREM 2 News.
I want to do the best I can, and if I can help somebody along the way, then my living shall not be in vain. So
it's a history of unity.
Where black churches are located is where black people will live.
A story of forgotten neighborhoods.
Every house from there all the way down to Liberty Park was black owned.
And a testament to perseverance.
A handful of people to come to Spokane and establish a black church in a white community in the 1890s, and it's still here. That's a miracle within itself.
A look back through Spokane's past and a look forward into its future.
Carl Maxey's life reflects the vision of the Maxey Center. Trailblazing, innovative, advocating.
The Black Lens is another testament that in Spokane, we all belong.
As the early morning mists begin to rise, the paparazzi descends on Lake Coeur d'Alene. They stake out along the shore, hoping to capture migrating celebrities.
So there's one right there.
Jay Hoover and Mark Hendrickson are amateur wildlife photographers.
If you can get action pictures of them diving down, catching a fish, is always good.
They're among the many shutterbugs who flock to Coeur d'Alene for the bald eagles.
Not very many people have this opportunity, and a lot of people have never seen an eagle before. And we have so many of them right here that you can just come and watch them.
Each winter, a migrating population of bald eagles visits the Lake Coeur d'Alene area from interior Alaska and Canada. They come to feast on spawning kokanee and occasionally fight for their meal.
No!
He dropped it. Straight ahead from me, there's two eagles.
He's probably getting ready to fly here.
The returning number of eagles varies from year to year, reaching a couple hundred. This winter, the U.S. Bureau of Land Management's weekly count peaked at 284 eagles. That's not even close to last winter's record total of 409. Which means photographers must keep a sharp eye to capture America's bird in action.
If you watch them for a while, sometimes you'll get lucky enough to see them take off.
It's a test of patience. Some spend hours waiting for the perfect shot.
It's just a challenge for me, see if I can get them flying or fighting or trying to catch a fish.
We're trying to get the diving into the water and pulling out the fish.
Eventually, it happens.
Yes.
Oh,
he's going down. It was a jaw drop for me. So I'm just kind of vibrating because I thought, I got it. I even told my dog, I got it.
It's a moment Julie Wagner hoped to see on her holiday visit.
Like, he's just beautiful. He's so beautiful. I just can't get over how beautiful he is.
And she didn't need the big guns to get the shot.
Did you get some good shots?
She used her phone.
Wonderful.
Still, having a big lens doesn't hurt. Just look at this stunning shot.
I envy you guys with your big cameras.
By the afternoon, the eagle frenzy calms.
Truly a highlight for me.
But you can bet the paparazzi will be back at it again soon. In Coeur d'Alene, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Thank you for joining us here on KREM 2 Plus. For the KREM 2 News Weekend Review, remember, you can always watch our latest newscast and weather forecast right here on KREM 2 Plus. Just click on the video in the bottom navigation menu. I'm Tim Pham. Thanks for watching.